Breaking inputs coming in on the Kota infant tragedy. Health Minister, this is the Union Health Minister of the central government, Dr. Vardhan, has now written to the Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot after 100 infants in all that have died in this one particular state government-run hospital in Kota. Remember, this is the death toll that continues to rise. Out of concern, you have the Health Minister asking the Chief Minister now to look into the matter, saying that the deaths this year at the hospital are higher as compared to what has been seen in the previous years.
राजस्थान के मुख्यमंत्री हैं, उनको एक व्यक्तिगत पत्र भी लिखा है और उनको मैंने ये निवेदन किया है कि इस विषय के ऊपर पूरी आप गहराई के साथ ध्यान भी दें। अपनी तरफ से हमने उनको सब प्रकार के सपोर्ट की, सब प्रकार की सहायता के लिए आश्वासन दिया है। इस विषय के ऊपर सभी संबंधित लोगों को, वहाँ की सरकार को, वहाँ के स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय को, अस्पताल के प्रशासन को और जो भी वहाँ के जो डॉक्टर्स वगैरह हैं, सब लोगों को उसकी गहराई में जाकर और कोई भी गैप है, कोई भी कमी है, उसको तुरंत पूरा करना चाहिए।
Breaking inputs coming in. The Congress President Sonia Gandhi is also inquired about the Kota incident. She's directed the Chief Minister here to take all appropriate action. In other news, this is regarding the iconic lines, the poem of Faiz Ahmed Faiz, which has been recited in several anti-car protests that we've seen. In one such protest, it was recited in IIT Kanpur as well. But this has sparked off a controversy. The Educational Institute has set up a panel now to probe whether this poem is anti-Hindu or not. The poem, which was written in 1979, it is called Hum Dekhenge, Lazim Hai Ki Hum Bhi Dekhenge. It had originally been written against the atrocities of the then Pakistani dictator Zia-ul-Haq. But now a faculty member from IIT Kanpur has submitted a complaint that the lyrics of this poem are anti-Hindu. The IIT Kanpur panel has now been set up to investigate this. If students were instigated and whether they broke prohibitory orders that were issued by the police.
The whole issue started from 17th of December when the student and the group of students of IIT Kanpur, they held a protest march inside the campus. At that point in time, they in fact did nothing that only that they recited a poem that was written by Faiz Ahmed Faiz. Then on the 2 days later, that in fact a faculty member gave a complaint to the administration stating that in this whole protest, there was the poem that was recited. In that poem, that there was the lines that was recited was anti-Hindu. So that was the complaint he gave. Then on 21st of December, IIT Kanpur director, in fact, said in the tweet which he tweeted, and he said that that he has taken the cognizance of the whole issue and he never permitted any kind of protest march. There was no prior permission was taken. So they have set up a high-powered committee into this whole issue, and they have started probing it. So two aspects are that the panel is probing that who in fact instigated the whole protest march. That is what they are probing, and the second, on the basis of the complaint that they have got about the anti-Hindu thing that had happened. So these two things are happening. So from now onwards, that in fact when we try to talk to the IIT Kanpur administration, they say that they are going to issue a statement on this whole issue, and in fact from now onwards that they may release the statement from any time. But as of now, we are waiting that what is the status of the probe. So in that statement, they will tell what is the status of that probe, and they will tell that where it all controversy stands.
Let's get in further inputs here. My colleague Tanima Biswas with those details here. Tanima, what exactly are these lines which are under the scanner? Because this is a well-established revolutionary poem of the 70s. So what is this under the scanner which is being called anti-Hindu?
That's right, Seher. This poem is not at all new, and it has in fact been recited previously at several protests. But the fact that there is now a concern as to whether or not this poem was recited at the IIT Kanpur during one of the Anti-Citizenship Amendment Act protests, that is now under scanner. Of course, a complaint has also been filed with the IIT Kanpur, which the panel will probe. Let's just take a look at some of the lines which are, have in fact sparked off this controversy. So if we look at this portion, which is towards the end of the poem, the original lines say "Sab taj uchhale jayenge," which means when the crowns will be tossed. "Sab takht giraye jayenge," which means when the thrones will be brought down. If we go into the following lines, the last paragraph, which says "Bas naam rahega Allah ka hum dekhenge," only God's name will remain, we shall witness. So these are some of the lines in the poem which has in fact sparked off this controversy. We know that there's a faculty member himself who has in fact filed this complaint with the IIT Kanpur, saying that according to him that this is anti-Hindu content. But that is also one of the aspects which the panel is now going to probe, along with the investigating whether or not this was actually recited and who actually provoked the students to recite this particular poem.
Okay, and Tanima, we've seen that not just in this protest, this is a poem in the past few weeks that has been recited in several cities, in several of these protests that we've seen. When exactly was this poem written by Faiz Ahmed Faiz, and under what circumstances?
That's right. In fact, if we just bring that up for our viewers as well as to what is the background of this poem, as we have in fact been mentioning that it is an iconic poem by Faiz Ahmed Faiz, and this was written in the late 70s, as you were rightly mentioning. So it's an iconic revolutionary Urdu poem by Faiz Ahmed Faiz. It was written towards the late 1970s, and it was composed in protest against the Pakistani dictator Zia-ul Haq. So that was a particular context during which this poem had in fact been written. If we go into the next point there, the poem became a song of resistance and defiance. As you were mentioning, that it has in fact been recited at several protests in the past. Also, it in fact got a cult following after a public rendition by Pakistani singer Iqbal Bano at Lahore. So this also happened, and only after that the entire the song actually got a particular cult following movement behind it, and the poem quoted and is sung widely in various protests across India, across the subcontinent. So this is the background from which this poem comes from. Now, after so many years, this has in fact sparked off a controversy in this environment when there's a lot of protest going on against the amended Citizenship Act, and a complaint now the IIT Kanpur is probing on this matter.
Right. Tanima, many thanks for getting us those details. And there have been several reactions to this that have come in as well. The BSP leader, Sudhendra Badoria, has spoken out, saying that only those people who haven't read Faiz properly are the ones speaking against it. Also, the Congress leader, Manish Tiwari, has criticized IIT Kanpur for having started this probe against the students.
कुछ लोग जिन्होंने न फैज़ को पढ़ा है और न भारत के साहित्य को पढ़ा है, वो इस प्रकार की भाषा बोल सकते हैं। फैज़ अहमद फैज़ पाकिस्तान के वो क्रांतिकारी कवि हैं जिन्होंने भारत और पाकिस्तान की दोस्ती की हिमायती की है। आज जो इस प्रकार की भाषा बोल रहे हैं वो लोग हैं जो भारत पाक की दोस्ती का नहीं, वो इंसानियत की भी दोस्ती नहीं चाहते हैं।
What I read in English about the poetry of Faiz Ahmed Faiz, he is considered to be a great poet of global reputation, and he is quite popular in India also. And his poems should be read in a proper historic perspective and context. And one should not try to make out a case to dub him as communal or anything. That's what my position.
Renowned lyricist and poet Javed Akhtar has also said the poem was written against Zia-ul Haq's communal, regressive, fundamentalist, authoritarian government. This was the circumstance under which this revolutionary poem was penned. Take a listen.
ये पोएम जिसका जिक्र आजकल हो रहा है, ये पोएम लिखी थी फैज ने जियाउल हक की सरकार के खिलाफ, जो कि फिर वही कम्युनल और रिग्रेसिव और फंडामेंटलिस्ट सरकार थी। यानी पाकिस्तान में भी जो रिग्रेसिव कहला है और फंडामेंटलिस्ट कहला है, तो वो कितना फंडामेंटलिस्ट होगा आप सोचिए। उसके खिलाफ ये पोएम लिखी थी।
Let's also get you other news. Tamil writer-orator Nellai Kannan has now been arrested by the Tamil Nadu police and he's being charged with making a controversial speech against Prime Minister Modi and also the Home Minister Amit Shah during an anti-amendment Citizenship Act protest. He was arrested from the Perambalur district of Tamil Nadu after several cases that were filed against him by the BJP workers and the BJP leaders there, who had earlier taken out a march at the Marina Beach demanding for his immediate arrest. Nellai Kannan had made a speech in Tirunelveli 4 days back. Here's another update here on his case. He's been sent to judicial custody till the 13th of January. Remember, this is soon after his arrest on those charges of making remarks against the Prime Minister and the Union Home Minister. This is an update, a development here on this. He is now being taken ahead forthwith judicial custody till the 13th of January. Meanwhile, the opposition has questioned this action. They have called it selective action, demanding action instead against the BJP leader H. Raja. CPIM MP from Madurai, Venkatesan, has pointed out that H. Raja had actually delivered a speech in the pro-car rally. He was supporting the police action against Jamia Millia Islamia students, alleging here, and this is what he said, I quote, that if you throw stones from the university compound, we will shoot bullets from the other side, unquote.
अरे ईटा का जवाब पत्थर से देंगे, my dear friend. बंदूक के जवाब बंदूक से मिलेगा.
Does that mean like if you peel stone you will be shot down? Does that mean that?
Say they wanted to kill hundreds of people, so police did not have any other go, so they had to resort to firing because their intention is to set the whole nation under fire. Yes, evil forces. Say these policemen were attacked. Have you seen in the
on that controversy over Nellai Kannan's arrest, Puducherry Chief Minister Narayanasamy has spoken out, saying that no one should go personal while criticizing. He said that making personal comments is not a civilized approach. Let's get in further inputs. Our correspondent Pramod is getting us those details here. Pramod, this is an instance where the Puducherry Chief Minister has also spoken in, and interestingly, he's saying that Nellai Kannan himself should have been careful before making this personal.
It certainly is, because Congress orator who was Nellai Kannan, who was speaking at this event, did go for a little far, with these words, because as he was speaking for almost 16 minutes, he did use this term which colloquially translates into take care or finish off. So that has become the issue, because as he was speaking, he was trying to narrate that the Prime Minister Modi might be the forerunner, but in the background, it is the Home Minister Amit Shah who's acting as a brain behind CA and NRC. As he was explaining this entire event, he went ahead and he said how come he's not yet finished off. Colloquially, he meant that, and immediately it was translated into assassination words, and immediately a lot of complaints was filed against him. Tamil Nadu police also filed an FIR against him, and yesterday he was snapped. All this amidst BJP leaders' protest. It also occurred in Chennai's Marina yesterday.
Right, and the Chennai police, they're having also registered an FIR against 311 BJP members, and this is for having protested at Marina Beach, demanding the arrest of the Tamil writer Nellai Kannan. BJP leaders here, which include the list Pon Radhakrishnan, H. Raja, L. Ganeshan, along with several other workers who had protested here. Pramod, we'll be looking at arrests taking place continuously by the Tamil Nadu police, be it anti-car protests or pro-car protests here. Across the board, these are arrests that continue to be taking place.
Well, this is an FIR that has been filed against the protesters. In fact, like anti-CAA protests, the FIRs, we can only give the names and the numbers in particular, which has gone up to more than 20,000. However, BJP also did held a protest at Vallur supporting CAA. No FIR was filed against that. But yesterday's protest went a little far ahead because, like you exactly mentioned, H. Raja, former Minister Pon Radhakrishnan, Vanadi Srinivasan, and various other leaders gathered at one of the prominent locations without permission and began protesting, causing a lot of issues for the public commuters through that arterial road, which is at Marina Beach. That's the reason now Chennai police had gone ahead and have filed cases against 311 members, which also include the names of these leaders.
All right, Pramod, many thanks for getting us those updates. In other news, in what could be a fresh flashpoint between the centre and the West Bengal state government, the centre has rejected West Bengal government's Republic Day tableau proposal. The Bengal government sources claim here that they have received no official communication regarding this matter, but a Defence Ministry statement said that this proposal was rejected by an expert committee. The government of Bengal proposal showed that the state had planned to showcase state projects such as Kanya Shri, Jal Dhoro Jal Bharo and Sabuj Sathi. This is the second year in a row that the Bengal government's tableau proposal has been rejected. These are details here coming in. Remember, the West Bengal state government also maintains here that this is the second time in a row that the proposal has been rejected. And the West Bengal government also says what was the theme in what would be projected there at the state tableau. It was essentially to showcase state projects, questioning in fact the grounds on which this has been rejected. Well, the search for missing firefighter after the Delhi factory blaze is still on. Remember, the NDRF team, which has joined the rescue operations here, has now informed our team at Mirror Now that they're creating 3 approaches to try and locate the missing officer. The NDRF commandant here says that they are yet to establish any contact with the firefighter. Remember, several injuries that have been sustained includes several members of the firefighting team here as well in this massive fire that has taken place today.
How is the operation currently going on from the NDRF side?
It's a joint operation which is going on jointly with Delhi Fire Service and NDRF. 2 teams are there at the ground. They are carrying out the rescue operation. And there are chances of a second victim also. So we are trying to locate the second victim. The search operation is on. And we are making approaches from 3 sides to locate the victim. We are using our equipment, and since the fire is still on, the fire is not fully controlled, so that is causing some challenges to this rescue operation. But we are sure we'll locate him soon.
Sir, have you been able to locate the second person who is
no, not yet, because there are a lot of debris there and the fire is still on. We are using our equipment to locate the victim, and at the same time we are also making approach. We are carrying out a physical search also, and we are making approach from 3 sides to locate the victim. As of now, there is no communication with the victim, but we are trying to locate him.
So what is the current difficulty that you are facing in locating him?
See, it's a collapsed structure as well as the fire there. So there are 2 challenges: fire and the collapsed structure, and the debris, lot of debris there, and the building has collapsed. The large part of the building has collapsed. So that is causing some problems, but we are sure we'll rescue him soon.
All right, we'll go back to the next focus that we were discussing. This is with respect to the state government of West Bengal and their tableau that has been rejected by the centre. This is for the Republic Day parade. The centre has rejected this. However, the government says there is no official communication on this, but this has been made clear through a Defence Ministry statement saying that this proposal has been rejected. We should remember that the West Bengal government has also made it very clear on what they had planned to showcase here at this tableau. It was essentially showcasing state projects, specifically naming Kanya Shri, Jal Dhoro Jal Bharo, as well as Sabuj Sathi. But this also makes it the second year that this has been a flashpoint on the same between the two governments. The second year in a row that West Bengal government's tableau proposal has been rejected. Let's get in a word here from my colleague Viren Farao with those inputs here. Viren, what are we expecting next as far as the state government here is concerned?
Well, so let's in fact bring our viewers up to speed with what really the controversy is and how we've gotten to this stage. As we then try to explain what Mamata Banerjee could perhaps do next, let's begin by telling our viewers that the Bengal government, as you said, in fact planned to include 3 of their schemes on this particular tableau on Republic Day, and that did not go down well. Now, the state has on its part said that it's received no communication from the union government about any issues that they have found with the tableau itself. Now, what we know so far is also the fact that the central government has spoken to all the selected states so far. They've held 2 meetings, but Bengal yet to find out what the issues they say are with the tableau in question. Now, remember last year's tableau also faced a similar problem that was rejected for the show. But as far as Mamata Banerjee is concerned, she is expected to make this raise this issue in public. That's what we understand. Mamata Banerjee has been at the forefront of the CAA protest and the protests against NRC in Bengal, and she plans to continue that this time over the issue of the tableau. Remember, we're just a few days away from Republic Day, and the states are busy getting their own tableaus together for that grand parade that sees months of preparation.
Right, Viren, but what is the explanation here that's come in the form of the Defence Ministry's official statement here? On what grounds it has been rejected? Why has it been rejected?
Well, that's really the interesting part. Now, the Defence Ministry on its part has put out a statement. Now, what they're saying is that the West Bengal government's proposal was examined by an expert committee. So they're trying to say that it wasn't bureaucrats within necessarily the organization, but it was experts who actually vetted this entire proposal. They've also gone on to say that the expert committee examined this particular proposal in 2 separate rounds. And finally, the committee has also said they decided not to take the proposal forward purely because the guidelines that are set out for these Republic Day parades, were in one way or another violated, and therefore they could not accept the proposal. And that's the official word from the Ministry of Defence.
All right, Viren, many thanks for getting us those details.